Yeah. Hello guys, it's the Dragonic Empire here with a Dimension Police deck profile from the set 13 stuff. So like this covers both the regular Ultimate Daiyusha as well as the dark Dimensional Robo Daiyusha.
So we're just showing you what you can do with the set 13 support for new
for Dimensional Robos. Right, I mean your main starter now is Dimagnum, as opposed to, I don't know where I put them, oh there they are, as opposed to Daiyusha or the Grade 3 Searcher, Warrior Destiny Dai. Because he's definitely great with the deck. You can push him to Soul plus 4,000 to a unit, which obviously works great with Daiyusha, giving him that 14k base power and giving that inherent crit.
Yeah, I mean, you might argue that the card is a neg, but if timed right, and used with Daiyusha, you're either going to force out extra guard or get extra damage on them, which is either a break-even or a plus, depending on how you see it.
And with another Grade 2 you can play. You can play Die Hearts, push him to Soul. I mean, you might not necessarily have the 2 Grade 3s in hand to use the skill, per se, but the fact that you pushed him to Soul, giving him plus 4, makes your opponent think about what's in your hand and can pressure more guard, because they don't want you sitting on a cross-ride turn 2.
No.
Which won't be fantastic for them. I mean, obviously Grade 3 Searcher itself can be a neg, because you put him into Soul and he can do nothing for you. And you've got Daiyusha, which is -4. So yeah, don't want to be doing that. I mean, he works alright in the Daikaiser build. When Fighters Collection 2014 comes out, I'll definitely be building Daikaiser, because he looks absolutely sweet. Triple drive check.
Broken is the right word.
Triple drive check, dude.
Yeah, but plus to get to Daikaiser's skill, it's just
triple drive check.
It's too much.
But yeah, Dimagnum's great. I mean, again, just with the Grade 3 lineup, he works great. With the Ultimate Daiyusha, if you have to ride him first, you can push him into Soul, make his limit break live, which is incredibly useful instead of having to put 4 more units in Soul, which you don't necessarily need.
The regular Ultimate Daiyusha build is now a very consistent cross-ride.
Yeah, you can consistently get the cross-ride now.
So we'll go over the regular Daiyusha first, and then we'll talk about what you need to swap out to Dark.
I mean, yep, so we play 4 regular Daiyusha.
This is in both builds?
This is used in both builds, obviously. I mean,
makes cross-ride more consistent.
Well, it gives you a cross-ride opportunity. And yeah, playing 4 of them definitely gets you more opportunity to get the cross-ride off. And in the regular build we play 4 of the Ultimate Great Daiyusha. But in the Dark Daiyusha build, obviously you'd swap out these 4 with these 4. So you play 4 Dark Daiyusha opposed to the Ultimate Daiyusha, but the Grade 3 lineup is pretty self-explanatory. You just play 4 and 4 of each, but because I'm playing the cross-ride variants of both, you don't play any of the break rides. I mean, in the Dark Daiyusha build, I would argue playing Infinite Saver 0 as the break ride, because you can go into negative values on the Vanguard.
I mean, you could even possibly play Daikaiser as well if you're going to go play for a break ride.
Yeah, but obviously because it's Dark Daiyusha, theming seems to matter to me a lot nowadays. But because original Saver 0 looks a bit dark, and you know.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, theme-wise, I think it fits.
Theme-wise, it fits much better because.
But personally, I think I would probably play Daikaiser if I had to go down a break ride route.
I guess because it is quite funny, but.
Well, you're lowering their power and they're gonna have to guard for it.
Because like the whole deck works in that kind of sense anyway. Because Dark Daiyusha lowers their power, and Infinite Saver 0's break ride skill lowers their power. So you know you can get them into minus values and have a very strong turn.
It's true. I think if you were playing a lot of criticals in the deck, it would have the same effect as Daikaiser anyway.
Yep, but that's the Grade 3 lineup for both variants of the deck. Onto the Grade 2s. These are the Grade 2s which will pretty much stay the same in both builds. We've got 4 Die Fighter, Defensive Ride. So you know.
Not much to say about that. I mean, a lot of people playing 9k rear guards. If they don't have the boosters, it might be a little hard to hit without a trigger.
To hit without a booster. Or a trigger, yeah.
That's what I mean, yeah, trigger. I didn't mean a booster. Shouldn't allow on triggers.
And obviously you play 4 Die Dragon, your 12k swinger, when you got Dimensional Robo Vanguard, which will pretty much always be the case. So those are the Grade 2s which will stay the same. You've got the Die Dragon.
And of course playing 6ks and...
Playing 6k, I'm playing 6ks in both, yeah. Okay. 6k Grade 1s in both.
With these you'll be able to hit 18 and 16k columns.
Yep. So these are the ones that will stay the same. On the theme of regular Daiyusha, or regular Ultimate Daiyusha, we play Mika. 3 copies of those. So
because you've got the spare counter blast, of course.
Because you've got spare counter blast in regular Daiyusha, because he doesn't counter blast at all. for his limit break skill or anything for that matter. And obviously your starter doesn't counterblast either, so you've got 5 open counterblasts to play around with.
So you would play Diamagnon in both, obviously.
Yeah, and Mika definitely great. Great way to use those counterblasts because they're just open. They're free to use. Okay, on to the Dark Daiyusha variant. I tend to play triple Daiheart over triple Mika because it gives you that extra use for Dimagnum, and it can definitely pressure them. If you do have it in hand, you can get a cross ride turn 2, which is fantastic. But even if you don't have it in hand, you're making them aware of his skill, and you're making your opponent think. Like, does he have the 2-dimensional...
It's another one of those turn 2 guard pressure cards.
Does he have the 2-dimensional Robo grade 3s to superior ride from the deck? But yeah, basically his skill is when his base power exceeds 13k, so when he gets plus 4k on him, when he attacks and hits the Vanguard, you can take 2 grade 3 dimensional Robos from your hand, put them into your soul, and superior ride a grade 3 dimensional Robo from the deck. So in the ideal fashion, you'd soul charge that and any other grade 3.
And so not ultimate if you're playing dark.
Probably not ultimate if you're playing dark, but like, what I mean is like you're gonna soul charge 2 grade 3.
And ideally you want at least one regular is it Daiyusha? Yes, Daiyusha.
Daiyusha. And then you just sit on a cross ride turn 2 while they figure out a way to attack you efficiently. Which can be a faff for them, to be honest.
You can really catch people off guard.
You can catch people off guard. So yeah, he's a great alternative to Mika. Other than him, you can play Daiyusha, which is the promo card from the Oracle Think Tank half box, I think. His skill, Counterblast 1, put into soul, gives something plus 4,000. So again, making Daiyusha live. Or, yeah, just making Daiyusha live. Plus he gives them the skill that when that Vanguard with the plus 4,000 hits your opponent's Vanguard, you can choose one of your opponent's rearguards and retire it.
I've had the situation as well, Daiyusha being on 14k with the crit and I'm sitting on a 9k. It's quite hard to guard because in that situation if you go first, it's going to be pretty tricky for them.
It's tricky indeed. The retire effect definitely makes up for the fact that you lose a rearguard for this, because you've got to push him into soul, obviously.
I believe, does your opponent choose the rearguard?
No, you choose the rearguard.
Oh wow, that's good.
Which is very, very handy.
So you get rid of an okay-ish rearguard and you can select anything of your choice.
Yeah, which is the alternatives, basically.
So I take it the card of choice for you would be the Daiheart, though?
Yeah.
Daiyusha's just an alternative.
Daiyusha's an alternative to this Mika. Because obviously, Dark Daiyusha's limit break requires you to counterblast. It's only counterblast 1, yes, but you want to have as many of that as possible, so you can minus their Vanguard 10k over and over again, and force so many cards out of hand. I mean, effectively his limit break gives 10k to each of your rearguards.
That's good.
That's attacking the Vanguard anyway. On to our grade 1 lineup, which is more or less identical for both, but I'll go into what you can and should or possibly can do or think about doing.
Yeah, I believe it's the same, it's just the grade 2s.
Pretty much the same. 4 Perfect Guard, updated to... That's a green looking Perfect Guard. Updated to the Die Shields from set 13, so you don't have to worry...
Just means they're Dimensional Robo.
Just means they're Dimensional Robo.
I believe, does Dark Daiyusha have a special counterblast?
No, you need to lock 2 Dimensional Robos though.
Oh, okay.
But it's just counterblast 1.
That's good.
But yeah, he's mainly there because of, you want to play, if you want to play Ultimate Daiyusha, you need 3 Dimensional Robos in the soul, and if you have to ride Diamond Ace first turn, it kind of gets awkward.
It's true.
So yeah, there's that. We play 4 of the grade 1 10k swinger, Die Tiger.
It's a good rush card, and when you get to the point where you're pressuring for crits, especially in Ultimate Daiyusha, they'll probably be forced to take it if you can get the early aggro on and get some early damage in.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if people have those cards, play them, because they're very, very useful. Onto the tech grade 1s now. We've got 4 Go Cannon. Basically all he does is he pushes himself and another Dimensional Robo into Soul. Ideally you want to try and push this into Soul if you've ridden either this guy or this guy.
Just helps consistently, sir.
Helps consistently get your cross ride off, and helps you just sit on a 13k base while grinding your opponent down, either by minusing them 10k power or constantly pressuring them with an extra critical. So that's the way this deck can work now, which is fantastic. And plus, with his own skill, you push him and another Dimensional Robo into Soul. I mean, that's the crossride setup done, but he gives the additional ability of him giving the Vanguard an extra critical.
So if you're not on Limit Break as well, that's really handy.
Yeah. I mean, it is -2, but you can get a crossride set up and you can give your Vanguard an extra crit.
Yeah.
Which is very
if
handy.
they weren't going to guard it already, they're definitely going to guard it then.
Yeah. Our last grade 1 is 2 Die Brave. His ability is when he's in the Soul Blast him, and it gives the Vanguard the ability when it attacks and hits your opponent's Vanguard, you can Counterblast 1 to draw a card. It combos very well in both decks now, because you've got this guy. I know you don't want to Soul Blast that much. Well, you don't want to Soul Blast at all, really. You want to keep the Dimensional Robos in Soul so your Limit Break is online. But because of Magnum, if you've got the Crossride off, you've ridden grades 1, 2 and 3, that's 3 Robos in Soul already, and Magnum pushing himself into Soul gives you 4.
So you've got a spare one to get rid of.
So you've got this spare one to Soul Blast and give him the extra skill to Counterblast to draw, which is...
It does require riding it, which seems a bit inconsistent at 2, but I've seen it happen quite a bit recently.
It does require riding it, I guess, but, you know...
Oh, you can use Go Cannon, actually,
You can use Go Cannon to push him to Soul, and, you know... You can play more copies of this, really. This ratio is definitely up for debate. You can play 3 and 3, or 2 Go Cannons, 4 Die Brave. But this is the ratio I'm comfortable with. I mean, obviously you guys can definitely chop and change it to what you want. I mean...
And obviously test the deck for yourself. Try even like different trio lineups and whatnot.
Yeah.
Just make
you don't have to play
your play style.
You don't have to play Die Braves either. You can play Die Mariner. Because he's the same as well. Soul Blast gives your Vanguard plus 3k.
I would argue obviously the draw effect is probably...
I like the draw effect much better, but obviously...
It applies a lot more pressure than just 3,000.
Yeah, but obviously, like, you know, you can... Because of all the Dimensional Robo support we've just received...
Yeah, there's a lot to choose from.
There's a lot to choose from. You can definitely play around with the deck now, and you can be more creative with it, which is always a good thing. Finally, onto our triggers.
So I think even considering Die Brave, the grade 1 lineup is pretty much the same across the board.
Yeah, the grade 1 on it, for me anyway, is pretty much the same.
If you find yourself using too much Counterblast, I suppose, yeah, Die Mariner might not be a bad alternative in that sense.
Yeah, I mean, again, Die Brave's only Counterblast 1, and if it hits... I mean, I mainly just use it for the pressure. If he does hit, I get a free draw, so, you know,
Which is nice.
It's not exactly bad. For the triggers, 4, Die Crane, your Dimensional Robo draw trigger, and 1 Penguin.
Just to make 5 draws?
Just to make the 5 draw. Because draw triggers, you need the components in your hand. Yeah, so draw triggers will help you get stuff like your...
the extra cards you need for your combos.
The extra cards for your combos, like the Go Cannons to help you get the Crossride off.
Or just your Crossride components.
Or just your Crossride components in general, yeah. Correct, indeed. Oops.
So I believe you're playing...
We're playing 4 Die Battle. So that's just a generic Dimensional Robo crit trigger. And 3, Demon Eye Monster Gorgon, which is the new crit trigger from set 13.
Other crits are available.
Well, you've still got Justice Cobalt, so that's just 7 critical. 7 crit, 5 draw, and of course, 4 heals.
They just keep you in the game longer, and of course, 5k doesn't matter.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, like with the trigger lineup, you can definitely play with again, because in my previous Dimensional Robo build, I played 3 stands over 3 more crits. But I have found myself too many times in a situation where I'd rather the stand trigger I check to be a crit trigger.
More so this is true of Ultimate Daiyusha playing stands, because he has an inherent crit on him anyway, and you might not necessarily need the extra crit to break through. Yeah. Just the extra 5k power. So that stand could go elsewhere. But with Dark Daiyusha, the crit isn't always inherent, so probably
Dark Daiyusha you want to play more. Dark Daiyusha you definitely want to play more crit, but in regular Ultimate Daiyusha you can test out stands. But yeah, like I said, I found too many times where I'd rather the stand trigger or drive check to be a crit trigger. So just to help the deck be more consistent, I'm playing extra criticals instead. So yep, that was the
double feature
Dimensional Robo deck profile for both Dark and regular. So
let us know what you guys think. Like would be appreciated.
Like, comment, subscribe. Facebook links and stuff will be down in the description below.
And we'll see you next time.
We'll hopefully see you next time.